Welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
I'm Sean.
And happy Super Bowl Eve! Not when you hear this, but that's what it is now.
That's right. It is.
You exist in a future where I'm sure the Patriots have already won.
Yeah, you're probably like, oh, let's say the Patriots won 100-0.
Again.
Because
Tom Brady just farted, and they gave him 1,900 points.
Tom Brady farted nitroglycerin and somehow had the football in his hand. And if you do that, it was an undiscovered rule that you automatically get 100 points by farting yourself.
You win the next 100 Super Bowls if you do that.
Yeah, and if you fart yourself into the end zone.
He absolutely farted himself into the end zone.
That was something that, was figured out. It was determined, however long ago the NFL was,
The one day if you fart yourself into the end zone, it counts.
Because what happened was when they were making the rules, and somebody was just sitting there and they farted and they're like, hey, it'd be great if one of us farted ourselves into the end zone. It's like, hey, you know what? If that ever happens, whoever does that is going to get 100 points.
Yeah.
And they wrote it down and they forgot about it.
Until it happened at this Super Bowl.
Until it happened
at the Super Bowl.
This past Sunday.
What number are we on? Super Bowl
53?
I don't know.
52?
Sure.
53, I think.
Okay.
I'm probably off. I don't care.
I don't know. Super Bowl, whatever it was, the Patriots won again.
Super Bowl ass.
Again. They won. Again.
Hey, maybe they didn't win. Maybe we're living in an alternate timeline where they didn't win.
Oh, that'd be great.
And the Eagles actually won a game.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No one wants the Patriots to win except people who live in Boston.
You think that's or anybody that's from Boston?
We lived in Boston for 4 years.
No, but we're not from there.
No, but I don't want the Patriots to win.
Yeah, well, no, of course not. Why would you? Because you grew up there, or you didn't grow up there.
But no, I'm just I'm tired of watching them win.
Right. No,
I'm tired of watching them win. I'm glad you guys are good, but hey, maybe somebody else could win.
Well, sometimes teams are just better than others. That's just how it is.
I know.
And look, however, whatever theories people have about the Patriots being favored over other teams.
I don't believe those theories.
I don't really believe those theories either. It's just that it just happens that those athletes are better than others.
It's just they have the money and the whatever.
And they can pay for the better athletes.
Yeah, but that also, again, sucks because, man, it sucks to go into a game being like, it's obvious who's going to win this game.
True.
That kind of sucks. You'd like it to be fun and competitive, but everybody knows.
Right.
We all know. Yeah. And then it's not fun anymore.
No, it's not fun. But.
So, unless you're a Patriots fan, I guess.
Yeah.
It'd be like if the Bills were going to the Super Bowl.
Well, the Bills
it would be a miracle that the Bills got to the Super Bowl.
It was a miracle the Bills got into the playoffs this year. That, I think, in itself was just, people are just like, look, that's great.
That's all you needed.
Because we were not...
You're like, we weren't going to make it any farther, but we made it to the playoffs.
Yeah, we didn't expect to make it this far, but we made it here, and now we don't have to worry about being considered this poor team that has a streak that nobody... that has not been broken for such a long time.
Yeah.
For 17 years.
Yeah.
Or whatever, 18 years, whatever long it was. And people were like, okay, well, now we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Now you made it to the playoffs, and maybe next year you'll make it again.
Maybe we'll make it again. Maybe there'll be good things. We'll see. At least now, and it's also one of those things too where this is no knock on, I hate saying this because I feel bad, but as far as teams that still haven't made it to the Super Bowl yet.
Yeah.
Because I feel bad for those teams, but at least we're not those teams, Yeah. Because I think is it?
The Vikings?
No, Vikings won 4 Super Bowls, I think.
Did they?
Or they definitely were in at least 4 Super Bowls.
Did they also lose those Super Bowls?
I don't know.
Haven't they been isn't there a whole thing where the Vikings just aren't very good lately or haven't been good for a long time?
I always feel
Am I confusing them with another team?
You probably are. I feel like they're in the contention a lot, but they've had trouble getting to the game, for a very long time, and I feel that's probably an issue with a lot of people,
Welcome to football talk.
Exactly. No, I don't know. It's something.
No, it's just we're talking about.
Well, it's also one of those things that it does fascinate me when, kid that grew up watching football, you always like, oh, well, what happened? How come the Patriots, the Lions never been to a Super Bowl?
Oh,
the Browns have never been to a Super Bowl.
Aren't they an old team too?
Well, yeah, they're an old team. These are old teams, and the Texans, which I think are the newest team, have never been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I'm probably forgetting one other one, but I know that there's been other teams that have made it, and it's I just like seeing variety. I'm a variety kind of guy.
Well, that's why I don't want to watch the Patriots play the Super Bowl again, because I'm like, oh, you guys again, huh? Oh, great, fun,
great, and I'm just gonna be
fun.
It's like Tom Brady is the greatest, and we will jerk him off.
Tom Brady believes in, I don't know, crazy medical bullshit that's not true.
He had like something where he posted his diet.
Yeah, it's weird, and he also believes that like you have to like. He's got a whole bunch of stuff. Some like new agey doctor who he like follows around, or
hey, he's about as old as us. I mean, maybe
no, he's older than us.
I think not by a few years, though.
By a couple of years. But here's the thing, though: it's damn good genetics.
Yeah, it's just how.
And he took care of himself. Good for him, man. But I'm not going to say it's like crazy weird doctors, like I don't know, humming the Star Spangled Banner over his balls or something. Whatever it is that he thinks gets him, pumped for the game, or like he's like, that makes my muscles big, and you're like, I mean, okay.
That makes my muscles big. The Tom Brady story. All right.
Yeah, that's football talk.
Yeah, that was football talk.
That was fun.
Glad we talked about that.
What else is going on?
I don't know. We watched stuff?
We watched Blade Trinity, but I fell asleep.
Did we talk about the Royal Rumble?
Oh, no, we didn't talk about the Royal Rumble.
Now we're going to do wrestling talk.
Oh, man, wrestling talk. We watched I didn't watch the whole Rumble. I watched the Lady Rumble.
Well, that's the only one that you needed to watch. I mean, there's not really much that you can be invested in. I mean, you're not a wrestling fan, but you wanted to check out the Lady Rumble, which you did. So
I did want to see Lady Rumble.
And, I mean, overall, the event was better than years past.
Sure.
The results of the Rumble were much better.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk too much about it, but there was, a lot of surprises, some fun surprises, which is what you want from a Rumble.
Yes.
That's kind of the point of doing it in some ways, that you want to see a surprise. You want to see something weird happen.
Yeah.
And not just like the same guy. I mean, unfortunately, the same guys come out and they, it's like John Cena and Roman Reigns and Triple H. It's like, oh yeah, well, here they come. They're going to win,
right.
At least,
right.
in that certain era. But, but then you have just random ass, like the Hurricane showed up, in the men's Rumble, and then in the women's Rumble, which was the first one, and it was actually was really exciting, is that they don't have enough women. They didn't have enough women to do a 30-person Rumble, a 30-woman Rumble.
Yeah.
So now they had to bring in like a lot of people from NXT and other.
Like, women who've retired, like Beth Phoenix showed up.
Well, Beth Phoenix showed up, and like Trish Stratus showed up, and Molly Holly showed up, and a lot of them looked great.
Yeah.
And it was just cool to fucking see.
And Kelly was there.
Kelly was there.
She's still a bad wrestler.
Yeah, she was never good to begin with, you know. I mean, she tried.
She has very long arms.
Yeah.
That's something that I noticed. It just reminded me of my friend Susie, who always complained that she had like really long arms because shirts are too short, like sleeves. Anyway, that's a fun story.
But she was, she was there, and then they had a few other cool surprises.
I think Vicky Guerrero was my biggest surprise, because like, what? And then she got thrown out. I mean, obviously we knew that was going to happen. Well, she's not there for, to actually wrestle anybody.
For the first women's Rumble, and just for them to do all sorts of cool shit that they normally couldn't find a way to shoehorn in and do it in the unique auspice of the Rumble. Mm-hmm. I think it was a really good event. I think the whole thing with Ronda Rousey at the end was kind of bullshit.
That was dumb.
Because it was fucking awkward.
That's the thing. It was fucking awkward. Like, Asuka should have been like all celebrating and stuff, and we had to like.
That's how it should have ended. Asuka won the women's Rumble. Hooray, women!
Right.
Copyright. Go to black.
Right, and then all of a sudden Ronda Rousey comes out, and you're like, cool, she's here, but like she stood around awkwardly and then pointed.
All she did was point. She looked like David Byrne in that one Talking Heads video with the big coat, or as somebody a show that that I really like that you've listened to sometimes, Tyson Fights. Yeah. They described as the kid at the end of Big wearing the suit.
Yeah,
whatever, Josh Baskin or whatever, and so he's wearing, but she's just because she's got this jacket that Roddy Piper wore and her son gave her.
Yeah, but it's too big.
But obviously. It's too big, so it's just like this big oversized jacket, and she just walks around and she's like, turn, point.
Awkward point, though.
Awkward point, and it's not even like convincing. Like,
yeah.
I just wish one of them would have been like, Asuka would just like kicked her.
That would have been great.
And then, because that's the way you end up. That's how when they did the thing with Steve Austin and Mike Tyson is why that got so over, I think. Because Steve Austin, Mike Tyson comes out and he's out there with Vince McMahon and, Vince Shane and the entourage or whatever. Their entourage, his entourage. And, then Stone Cold comes out and he's like, they're like, hey, check it out, it's Mike Tyson. And Steve Austin's like, fuck you, Mike Tyson. And then literally pushes him, giving him middle fingers. Mike Tyson's pushing him. Vince McMahon, I think my favorite part of all that is Vince McMahon is just yelling at Steve Austin while they're fighting, while they're separating them, and Vince McMahon's just like, you ruined it! You ruined it! And I'm like, you could have did that at this thing with Ronda Rousey, and just to have like Stephanie yelling, you ruined it, and have Asuka just try to kick her, and Ronda Rousey, because she's a fighter, she'll fucking scrap.
Yeah.
Just do a little bit of scrapping, just have something happen instead of her just be like,
that's what I mean. Like, wouldn't it be great if like Charlotte and Alexa Bliss and Asuka are all standing there and she comes out and they all just look at each other. And then they team up and like fucking charge her. Yeah. Like they go up the ramp and like she like runs away and then you're like, that's how it fucking ends.
Or they should have.
Like, we're not going to fucking take this nonsense from you. Like, that would have been better. Or everybody comes out and tries to beat her up.
Well, I don't know if doing that so much. But I do. I mean, the chart thing with just the people in the ring jumping on her would have been interesting. Like Alexa Bliss, I could see taking a powder, but Charlotte and Asuka would get into it. But also I would like it if they just like treated like, hey, who's this fan coming in the ring? And because that's how, when wrestlers see a fan coming, they don't know what they're doing, so they just kick the shit out of them. And just like, kick. Fight,
Something. But yes, that was a little weird. We did get, however, a name drop of China. From Stephanie McMahon, of all people.
And here's the thing, not enough people are talking about it. I've been listening to like all these different things. I feel like that went really under the radar, but like that's something that really stood out to me when they're talking about all the women that should have been in the that could have been in the Rumble, but they're no longer with us.
Right.
And like Lita did some service to that, because she had the names on her arm, and she's very vocal about that, and in some of the interviews that they did afterward. But like Stephanie dropped her name, and I was like, that never happens,
right?
Because it's like, because China, for all intents and purposes, they're just,
it's like dead to that company.
And they argued for years, and up until recently they were finally able to maybe like be a bit more liberal with discussing her, because there was that one thing where Steve Austin did that interview with Triple H on the network, and he's like, Steve Austin's like, goddamn China, and he's like, well, okay, we gotta say, Triple H just can't go and just run away.
What if that's what happened? I would have just screamed and ran away.
I wish that was what happened. He's like, no.
He's like, the game, and he just runs.
The game. And he just runs. Steve was like, God damn, I want to come back. What are you doing? Oh no, I gotta fill like a half hour.
Like Steve just talks to himself for half an hour.
Here's my favorite rib sauces. I don't know. I just got to my phone. Here's my shopping list. Yeah.
Gonna make ribs. This is what I need to buy.
Tonight we're having ribs.
Going to Ralph's. Here's my shopping list. Let me talk about it.
Where's the nearest Ralph's? It's just him reading off his shopping list. But no, I mean, Stephanie actually brought it up. Like nobody, none of the announcers brought up. Stephanie brought it up, and I thought that was very interesting, because it's we're also in Hall of Fame season, so it's very likely that he or she will be included.
I mean, she has to be.
Well, in terms of,
I realize that they were like, well, we don't ever want to talk about her, blah 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 blah. But like, holy shit.
Well, the rumor is that the Hall of Fame this year, so far they got Goldberg, the Dudleys. I'm missing somebody else. They're considering Kid Rock.
Oh.
Because Kid Rock has performed at WrestleManias, and they need, a celebrity to go in, and,
Kid Rock performed at like one WrestleMania.
No, he's done a few. He's done at least two.
That's how you fucking get nominated for the Wrestling Hall of Fame?
Drew Carey's in there. Drew Carey literally is Drew Carey's only participation in the WWF was at the 2001 Royal Rumble, where did you watch that?
Yes.
With me? Yeah, where he just was like, I'm promoting an improv pay-per-view, which who the fuck is watching an improv pay-per-view in 2001? That's actually very frightening.
So,
that's very
first off, it's an empty designation if you get into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, totally it is. In a lot of ways it is. Not everybody feels that way, but a lot of people see that.
The second thing, if that's the way they do it, does this mean that one day Jon Stewart will be inducted?
Oh, 100%.
Into WWE 100%. Hall of Fame?
No, 100%. Jon Stewart will find his way in there. God, just think of any celebrity that is big enough.
I feel like Jon Stewart's done more than Drew Carey ever did.
Jon Stewart actually had a very integral role in a match.
Yeah, he wrestled wrestled in quotes, but didn't he do like 2 or 3 of them?
He's shown up a few times.
Yeah.
He's been definitely been at least there involved in 2, and he's a big built like.
He's a big fucking mark.
Like, him. I mean, obviously, I'm trying to think of people that aren't in there yet. That are celebrities that would make sense. Cyndi Lauper. Cyndi Lauper should be in there.
Yeah, how is she not in there?
Well, I think it's because sometimes when they go, "Hey, Cyndi Lauper," and she's like, "Get the fuck away from me," because that's really how it is. I think a lot of times where some people are just like, I'll do it, or you'll give me this, we'll give there's some sort of trade off.
Yeah,
but in a lot of ways, the Hall of Fame doesn't mean enough to some of these people that because WWE sees it as a big deal.
Right.
And look, it's a big deal to them. I'm not saying it's not a big deal. It's actually a really cool thing to watch.
Yeah.
And the people are very excited for it. So I shouldn't knock it down because there are people that are in it that definitely deserve to be recognized. But there's a lot of ways that people are into the Hall of Fame that aren't. It doesn't feel. It feels like just more of just like a placating gesture, or they need a name to headline it. So, for instance, like this year, Goldberg's going in. And for a lot of years, people didn't think Goldberg should go in because Goldberg, for all intents and purposes, his wrestling career was not, as a performer, was not that prolific. But from a business standpoint and from just a notoriety standpoint, he's a big deal.
Right.
And I think that, that I guess in a way you're more or less recognizing that, and really since WWF owns WCW, they kind of lump all that in. I don't really think they want to, but they kind of have to, which is why you see people like Sting and all that go in. But I don't know. I do hope though that what are we talking? How do we get on that?
We're talking about the Rumble, and then we're talking about China.
Well, China, yes, China. China should definitely go in. Yeah, because China should definitely go in. The problem is that they have to they usually check off boxes. So they'll usually have the big headliner, the celebrity. They'll induct a woman.
Have to have a lady.
They can't. It's almost as if they can't have two. I don't think they've ever had one in recent times. Maybe I could be wrong, but they have one in recent times where there's 2 women. But they've definitely had one where it's like, okay, we're going to induct this woman,
right?
And whether or not, and then they induct a dead person.
Oh yeah,
but they don't want to do 2 dead people because 2 dead people is too many.
But so many wrestlers are dead,
right? But it's kind of sad. Usually the way they might do it is they might try, if it's a group they're inducting, they might.
Warrior's fucking lucky he got in there and then died.
Yeah, no, he figured out. He figured that out somehow. But it's kind of like the Von Erichs, like all the Von Erichs, except for Kevin and
dead.
Well, yeah, Kevin, are no longer with us, but they inducted the whole family.
As one,
so Kevin can show up and be like, "Hey, what's up? I'm still alive."
Right.
But we can also induct another dead guy because he's by himself because we just bring out the family. But at least you get one person there.
I'm alive.
Yeah. So China, it sucks. That's what sucks for China is that she's, they have other women they can induct, but they also want to be like, well, we can only induct one dead person, so we can't induct a dead woman.
Well, you could,
but I don't know if they.
That's their twofer.
But then they I don't know if I feel like what they should do is induct China and then induct another woman because China should count as the dead person.
Okay.
But it just happens she's a woman, so you're getting more for your Mo
it's a
for Mo.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like they see it that way. Granted, I mean, this is all bullshit because it's a fucking fake Hall of Fame. And I'm sitting there being like, man, I don't even know what they should do. Maybe I should go on Reddit and start a petition. Maybe I'll go on the dark web or whatever. I'll voice my opinion and maybe somebody will mail an affidavit to the WWE with some pictures of I don't know what, but the dark web will help me.
I've been obsessed with the dark web lately.
Well, because I feel
name checking the dark web.
No, because you know why? Because I've been following some of these accounts on wrestling, and I feel like these wrestling Twitter accounts, and I feel like they're the ones that go on the dark web of wrestling. Which, look, in my opinion, Reddit is the dark web.
But it's not the dark web.
I know it's not. But I feel like if I go on Reddit, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Like, I mean, I'm like, shit, I went on Reddit. Somebody's gonna find out.
You're not doing something wrong. There are subreddits for all sorts of things.
And that's where the people get really angry.
There's the gross nasty seething underbelly of Reddit. But then there's also like probably a Reddit for like knitting. I don't know, or like fucking ice fishing.
I don't know. Yeah, but I feel like that's where
RuPaul's Drag Race has a subreddit.
That's where all bets
That's
are
where
off,
all
though.
the tea is spilled.
Right, but I feel like that's where all bets are off, and you don't know who to trust, and it's like.
Well, it's always rumor. But that is why I listen to the podcast.
And that's what
to hear the tea.
Right, so you
I don't want to actually go on Reddit because I find the interface confusing.
But that's the thing, people.
Not confusing.
It is confusing. No, it is. You're not wrong.
Ugly.
You're not wrong. But people go to Reddit. People go on to Reddit, and I feel like, you don't want to. I just don't want to be on there because I'm afraid somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, I found your IP address. Now I'm gonna eat you," whatever. And I just get really worried.
All right,
I get worried that somebody's gonna find me out. So that's why I go follow the Twitter accounts that are like on the dark web.
Maybe you need like a shirt.
The dark web Twitter readers, guys, but they're not really like evil. They're just like, hey, you know what? Everybody, I don't know.
Maybe you just need a shirt that says "Scared of Reddit."
I do. I totally do.
Yeah.
Is there a Reddit dark web site for this show?
I can't imagine anybody cares about it enough to do that. We could have a Reddit. No, We Hate Movies has a Reddit.
They do.
But again, I'm afraid to even attempt to look at it.
Oh, I just feel
because I'm like, it's just too confusing.
I feel like if I go on Reddit, I regret because I can't.
Too many weird threads.
I already wasted enough time reading certain things.
Oh, I know, me too.
I
don't need any more
wasting enough time. I don't need to find one where it's just nothing but fucking hypotheses and stuff like that. And look,
and you would love it because it'd be like the wrestling sleaze list.
Well, that's the thing. I used to be on that. So the Wrestling Observer, if you sign up for the Wrestling Observer, you also have access to their message board.
Uh-huh.
That is like the dark web you pay for. Because I think it's been, from what I understand, last when I left, they're trying to class up the joint a bit. But there was a period where when I was having my Observer subscription, and you go on there, you would see some of the most horrible things. And it's just a wrestling board. People are just like, wrestling, whatever. And then you got some guys on there like, fuck this, fuck that, fuck you, you know?
Wasn't it like, hey, news about insert wrestler, and then it would be just like the worst porn?
Yeah, that's what usually be. It'd be like, hey, look at this wrestler. They look like a porn star. And you just go in and you just see the most graphic porn thing you've ever seen.
The most fetishy porn thing you could ever imagine.
We're talking things that are prolapsed, we're talking hardcore, and then it's just like there's always that one.
Extreme.
There was this one guy on there that knew everything about porn because there would be because that's the thing. It didn't have like a section. It was just like, hey, post pics here. Here's a pic of wrestling. Here's a pic of your cats. Here's a pic of this. Here's a pic of that. And then some just be like porn thread. Look at this girl. She just started her first anal. And this guy's like, I saw it. I know it. I have insider things. I'm on the dark web of porn, and I would get.
That's just Tumblr.
And to one point where like I remember it was actually the most hardcore thing, which I think actually caused everything to be cleaned up, was there's this one guy who was like a really big TNA mark, and for some reason he was like the TNA Reddit man, but he was before there was Reddit. He was like, I've got scoops, and his nick, and he had this. He would always pop in about like TNA things, Total Nonstop Extra, whatever, Impact. And he'd come in, and then everybody would be like, fuck you, asshole, eat my ass, fuck you. And he'd be like, why don't you fuck off, right? So, of course, eventually, people are just giving him shit. And then just out of nowhere, he posts pictures of murder porn from the 70s and early 80s. And
that was enough.
And Brian Alvarez or whoever was on the board just went, that's it. No more porn pictures. You guys have ruined it.
Yeah.
You guys have ruined it. You want to do this on Reddit.
Yeah, go to Reddit. Go to fucking 4chan and have fun.
Go to 4chan. Go to fucking whatever, whatever awful place you want to. Go to rotten.com, which is like, that was like back in the...
Oh, I remember rotten.com.
That was the thing when me and Benny... Shock, Benny.
Yeah, Shock.
Benny, who I've talked about on the show, is like when we used to go to... Because Benny was the one with the computer.
Ooh, yeah.
We'd be like, hey, let's go to Benny's house and look up Carmen Electra nude on Lycos. And... which is something I did plenty of times there.
How'd that go for you?
It went good. I mean, you had to get it where you can get it.
This is back in the day.
I was asking Jeeves. We were on Dogpile. Remember Dogpile?
No, I don't remember.
With Dogpile, you go on Alta Vista.
I remember Alta Vista.
You had to find somewhere to get it. Yep. He was like, well, this one didn't give me enough, so I needed a different place. But Benny found out about Rotten.com, and then like those led to like other Rotten.com friendly sites.
Yeah.
And Betty was like, hey, check this one out. This was run by a girl. Yeah. Look at that. Oh, yeah, there's a fucking smashed head, Mm-hmm. Here's some Photoshop nudes of a wrestler,
Ew.
Of like a woman wrestler. I was like, oh, look, that's Christina Applegate. And I was like, no, it's not her. But yeah, man, I don't know. I just don't. I don't trust those sites.
I know you trust nothing.
I trust
no one.
I trust nothing. But sometimes I like rumors.
Well, I know. I mean, again, I love RuPaul's Drag Race. I am a member of their Patreon. There's a RuPaul Drag Race recap. So it's people who aren't involved in the actual making of the show. It's a podcast that they put out recapping each episode. And they have a Patreon where they have a podcast where they talk about the rumors.
Yeah.
And I am a member because I want to know the rumors.
Yeah.
The spoilers, the conspiracy theory. Give me all that shit. I want to know.
That's basically what The Observer is. When you pay for that, you get the radio shows.
Yes.
They actually might have it now where they have an RSS where you could just get them downloaded. Mm-hmm. Which actually, if I did that, I'd be able to do that. That'd be awesome. Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah, because you could. That was the reason you didn't have it for a while, because you had no way to put it on your podcast thing.
Well, I still don't.
Well, if they have an RSS,
if they do, then that'd be great. I don't know if you.
So you don't have to worry, but you can put it on your phone.
Do that, yeah. That's the thing I don't like, because I'm trying to figure out in terms of like for instance, like We Hate Movies has all their episodes back, like the old catalog.
If you're a Patreon member, yeah.
If you're a Patreon member, but I don't think they have it in the feed.
No, there's like a
Google Drive.
Yeah, I'm not sure how any of that works. I don't know if you can get it.
Well, it's a Google Drive, and you probably could download it or stream it from wherever it is that you put the files. Because the thing about iPhones is I don't really know how to do this. And I feel like I should, but
we can Google it.
I mean, there's ways to do it, but it's not like you just like, oh, go find this file. Like, it's not like putting it on your laptop and just being like, I'm just going to play it off of here, and then it'll just play in iTunes.
Yeah,
like it doesn't work like that anymore, which is bullshit.
Yeah,
but
we'll figure it out.
Nonetheless.
So we should probably. Oh, sorry. I was going to say we should probably talk about the book.
Yeah, we should. We did like 30 different podcasts just now.
I know, we really did.
We did football talk. We did wrestling talk.
Internet talk.
We did tech talk. We did a little bit of RuPaul talk.
Oh, we sure. Well, it is the best show on TV.
Yeah. I actually agree with that. It's actually a really good show. And I'm not a drag queen person, but it's a pretty good show.
It's a fucking great show because it's a crazy reality show. And it's like all the reality shows, but like the best parts of them put into one show.
That's hard to do.
It is. And they've done it for like so many seasons.
I know.
We could watch the second episode if you wanted. I don't mind rewatching it.
No, you can watch it. If you want to watch it again
I would love to watch it.
No, I don't want to watch. Like, I don't want to watch it. I just say, but if it's something where you're like, I need to watch it, you do. Like, I don't need to watch it. I'll find something else to watch. I got wrestling to watch.
I don't know. Don't you want to know how Aja does this week?
I forgot who that one is.
Not the one with the makeup that you can't stand.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
That's Trixie.
Yeah,
I don't like Trixie's paint either. I'm sorry.
What
I know she's funny. I know. Don't come for me, Trixie stands. I get it. I get it. I know what she's doing. I just don't like it. Just the way she looks. I think she's very funny though.
I hope she listens to the show.
I'm sure she does.
So, all right. Well, let's take our break. We'll come back and we'll talk about our book for this week.
I regret to say, sir, Batman and Robin are not at present available.
What? Oh, surely you must be jesting.
Alas, sir, I am not.
Gotham City is overcome by villainy on the comic page from the likes of the Joker, the Riddler, and the Penguin. As they run rampant, only one man has the courage, the gall, and the skills to face the Silver Age.
Hi, I'm J. David Weeder, but you can call me Dave. If you haven't guessed, this is an overly dramatic promo for my show, The Dave Cave, a Batman podcast looking at the tales of the dynamic duo from the Silver Age. Come back with me to a time when Batman was less grim, Robin was content to wear hot pants, and the villains didn't rip their own faces off. Each episode will examine a tale from the pages of comics such as Batman, Detective Comics, The Brave and the Bold, and World's Finest Comics. It's all the bat action, bat adventure, and bat puns that you can handle on The Dave Cave, available at thedavecavepodcast.com, iTunes, or the podcatcher of your choice. The Dave Cave Batman Podcast, because in the Silver Age, there were no limits.
Wholly unsatisfying ending.
All right, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever with our book for this week. We are doing Night Thrasher Number 3 from October 1993. 1993. And Night Thrasher, of course, is a character from the New Warriors, which we've covered on the show before. I don't feel like every time we've done a New Warriors comic, I feel like any New Warriors comic we've done has always been very disappointing.
Yeah.
I have a hard time being like, New Warriors, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know why, but I wanted to get to Night Thrasher at some point. He's got a cool aesthetic. I like his outfit. Basically, he's like...
Kind of looks like Guardian.
He does, actually. Yeah, he looks like Guardian. Actually, he looks a lot like the new Guardian, like the Jimmy Olsen Guardian, which actually is kind of interesting because Night Thrasher's a black dude, and Jimmy Olsen's a black dude on Supergirl. So,
yeah.
But yeah, he's got this thing where basically it's like this black... mech suit. Not mech suit. It's not.
It's just like kind of one of those like reinforced.
Yeah.
It's not like super armor, but it's,
it's a black armor and it's got like
black and red.
It's got red on it. The helmet's kind of red and it's just like the aesthetic.
Yeah. I will say though that when I saw this comic, the cover, it looks like indie imprints that like tried to do shit like that would publish like Justice Machine. It doesn't look like a Marvel book.
This would fit. I don't know if it's so much an image, but definitely not even Valiant.
Yeah, like a step below Valiant.
Yeah, just something where it's like, hey, hey kids, my friend's got a comic book company, want to read it?
Yeah.
Kind of those things. Like we did that one, that's what, I don't know if it was, I would say it was like that, because that one was pretty bad. The Legacy, remember that book we did?
Kind of, yeah.
It was just, it was ass. But but Night Thrasher, yeah, he's basically like black dude Batman.
Yeah.
I guess that's the best way to describe him.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Like literally his parents were killed.
Yeah.
And he was raised by the guy who killed his parents.
Okay.
And the twist on the story.
Oh man. His name is Dwayne Taylor.
Dwayne Taylor.
And he's a rich guy. Parents murdered, and he becomes the dude.
Well, he wasn't a rich guy.
But he grew up one. He grew up a rich guy. He is rich. That's, all that sort of stuff. That's where the Batman comparison comes from.
Yeah, and he basically has like a Wayne Foundation type of thing called the Taylor Foundation.
Yeah, it's basically, that's the whole idea.
Yeah, and so he's part of the New Warriors, but then, at some point in the mid-90s, they gave a bunch of the New Warriors their own series, in a lot of ways. Really just Nova and Night Thrasher, and Justice had a miniseries, but and this cover is it's got some weird colors.
It is. It's like got an orange border.
Yeah, like there's an orange border, which for some reason, and I feel like this is also
also it's maybe like more of like a blood orange. It's like red orangish.
Yeah,
it's not orange.
It's blood orange. It's like a orangey creamsicle.
Yeah,
orange.
kind of. And it's that's that, and then the pictures in the middle, and the background of that picture is a yellow.
Yeah.
And then we've got
in an alleyway.
Yeah,
he's fighting.
And it's got Night Thrasher, trying to stop who we find out is called Ardwolf.
Ardwolf.
From jumping on this woman who looks kind of like an X-Men.
Yeah.
But this is not what she actually looks like in the book.
Really?
No.
She's got the same kind of outfit.
Yeah, but her hair is totally different. She's got long hair. This woman has a pixie cut.
That's true. So basically, yeah, Night Thrasher is fighting.
I would say that's two characters on this cover that don't look anything like they do in the actual book.
Yeah. So the title, at least on the cover, it says at the very top, it says "Murder in Madripoor." So we're fucking around in Madripoor.
That's a fucking terrible name for a country.
Yeah.
Madripoor?
Yeah, it's like
really?
it's like Madrid, but you're poor.
Yeah, I'm like, we couldn't have come up with anything better than Madripoor. But all right.
It's like it's like calling your city London Destitute.
Yes.
London Destitute.
No, poor's it's a whole word. So Lundestitute.
Lundestitute. Yes.
Lundestitute is correct.
Lundestitute. I gotta go to Lundestitute.
Can't wait to go to Lundestitute.
I gotta go to Paris Insolvent. I can't think of any
cities?
Oh no! Hang on. I got this. I gotta go to New York, Broke City. There we go. I did it.
Good job.
I gotta go to Oh, come on. I got fucking... Where's my GRE thinking? Think of some synonyms.
How about just buff a no?
No! How about buff a poor?
Buff a poor works, but I like buff a no. It doesn't make any sense. I just like it.
Buff a no. United States of Poor? I mean...
That works.
Jesus.
Tax cuts are rich.
We're rich. We're rich in soul and money.
Not rich in soul.
I don't know.
Rich in money, yeah, sure.
We are the rich. America. Poor.
Yeah. For the rest of us.
Rich.
For the 0.01%, man, they're doing very well.
Man, if I was like a rapper, I would have like an album called Rich. It'd just be me throwing like
is that the
dollar bills that were red, white, and blue. Be like, yeah.
Is that the follow up to your Buffano mixtape?
Buffano. DJ Angry Hero with the Buffano. Drop that Buffano mixtape. He's releasing his first album, Mirror Rich.
Oh man, that's so great.
It's going to be exclusively on Reddit.
You're just dropping an album on Reddit?
I dropped my album on Reddit. The dark web's going to be all over this. Dropping it exclusively on the Western Observer message board.
Right underneath a picture of some guy fisting himself.
Right underneath some guy entirely inside a woman's vagina.
Oh god.
Like somehow he like fucking Charles Barkley fit inside a woman.
How is that even a thing?
I don't know, because somebody's like, I saw this on the web, and they posted it. And Brian Alvarez went, why?
Ew. That's very upsetting. I'm certain that woman is dead now.
No, that's not true.
You can't fit a... Oh, good. I was like, holy
Would
shit.
you think it was actually true?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck.
Heard about that.
I don't know what the fuck you guys are looking at over there. Dudes trying to crawl back into vaginas? I don't know.
Yo, guys, check out this rebirthing trend.
Oh.
Don't click. Parentheses, do click.
Parentheses, please don't.
But if you do, you're going to jail.
I don't want an entire man in my vagina.
That's what goes on in
certain parts of men.
That's what goes on in Madripoor.
Shit.
Filmed live in Madripoor. Filmed for a live studio audience in Madripoor.
God.
They film a bunch of...
What if that was your mutant power? You could just like...
What, go back into your mom?
No, your vagina just stretched so large it could fit an entire man in it.
Or another woman.
Or another woman. Another person.
Or a car.
Whatever. That was the... And you never...
How would that be a good mutant power?
You could hide stuff.
But wouldn't they see it inside of you?
No, but that's the thing. Like,
would you be shaped like a car?
No. What if
like a Buick?
What if it was just like some sort of like portal to another dimension? So basically, like, you could put a whole fucking Roman legion in there and just like be like, get on a plane and get off the plane and there comes the legion. You've just invaded
the Legion
of
Superheroes? I hope so.
Whatever. Yeah, the Legion of you just
Ultra Boy, Lightning Glass, Bouncing Boy.
Why hasn't that happened in
Dawn Star? Whoa.
Why do you sound like the guy who announced the Saturday Night Live?
Because that's how they would be announced. Because also,
what was that guy's name? He's dead now.
Don Pardo.
He's dead, right?
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
No, actually, that's also another thing too. Is that the woman who has this power had a brother who also was Don Pardo, but he only had Don Pardo's voice.
Oh yeah,
that's his mutant power was to only mimic Don Pardo, and they travel together.
So he could announce.
It was an act.
So he could announce whatever was coming out.
It was an act. They play places like Madripoor.
It's a good act.
Or South Africa.
Sure.
Sun City. I don't want to play Sun City.
Oh man.
Okay, you can tell that there's not a lot to actually talk about in this book.
So
but we're doing it anyways because it's fucking ridiculous.
I mean, it's different.
We didn't finish the cover here.
Oh, yeah.
So he's fighting
Ardwolf.
He's fighting the Ardwolf, and Ardwolf basically looks like they say he's more savage than Sabretooth, more savvy than Trump.
You know what? Fuck you, Ardwolf.
Watch out.
Dropping
Well, this is 93, This is before. This is like the only thing Donald Trump was known for was WrestleMania 4 and 5.
And pissing off everybody who lived in New York.
And probably steaks. Maybe not steaks.
I don't know if he had steaks back then.
Yeah, he was like, more savage than Trump.
For really bad hair. He's always been known for really fucking bad hair.
Yeah. So,
should have known back then.
So, he's fighting basically like Ardwolf, at least at the cover. looks basically like Wendigo.
Yeah.
Like a white furred, vicious.
He also looks like he
beast.
should be like part vampire, maybe.
Well, he's just a feral beast.
Oh, I know, but I mean, like, he looks like one of those, like, he could be like a were-vampire beast or whatever. Like,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's got red eyes. Whatever.
And also, by the way, this girl is Silhouette.
I figured.
Yes, this is.
Again, his not wearing the same costume is in the book. Doesn't look anything like she does in the book.
Right.
Because here we see her in the very first page.
That's true. You're right. Yeah, she's got
long hair. Yeah, she's got long hair. Her outfit is totally different. It's got long gold boots that go all the way up. And
it's true. You're right.
It's totally different.
Yeah, like her whole outfit is like it's got less gold on it,
and there's no bracer.
Well, in this case, the idea here is that she had a. Well, we find this out, but basically, okay. So the story's called Madripoor Nights, and we have
Nights with a K.
Knights, and so we have, I believe it's Night Thrasher is like kind of like commentating, about like what's happened to Silhouette.
Yeah, because they just apparently they just had a fight. They were fighting somebody. She's worse for wear.
Yeah,
and she can like transport via shadow.
Yeah, she can melt into shadows.
So it looks like that's what she's done because she's really hurt, left one of her bracers wherever he is.
Right. And
because I think he gets captured.
Yeah,
and she's off.
Yeah, she's captured and they're in Madripoor and shit's been wild and she's trying to
get up so she can find some safety or whatever because she's in an alleyway. But she's having problems, obviously, because she's really been hurt and whatever. And then up on a rooftop is her brother.
Her brother's name is Midnight's Fire, which always reminds me of November's Coming Fire from Sam Hain.
St. Elsewhere's Fire or whatever.
St. Elmo's Fire.
St. Elmo's Fire. St. Elsewhere's Fire.
Howie Mandel in St. Elsewhere's Fire. The only thing about St. Elsewhere that I remember
is it's all in the head of an autistic boy?
Right, but that's true.
Yeah.
Which, weird. I mean, it's weird.
That's all I remember about St. Elsewhere. And that my parents really loved that show. That's all I know about it. Because it was on when we were young.
Yeah, it was on like in the mid-'80s. It was on NBC. Denzel Washington was on it.
Oh, okay.
Howie Mandel. That's all I remember that. I think Ed Begley Jr. was on it.
I don't know.
And I don't remember. I just remember there was an episode of I remember just watching an episode because it would be on like I think either bloopers and practical jokes. You ever watch that?
No.
With Dick Clark and Ed McMahon?
No.
And they'd be like, look at this stupid ass. And then they'd have like a little cartoon, lead them into like a joke of somebody being like, whatever, just stupid fucking jokes.
Yeah.
And celebrities get involved and they'd be like, here's fucking Jason Bateman getting a pie in his face or whatever, or Sandy Duncan, in her glass eye. We talked about her.
We did.
I'm thinking it's only NBC people, it's like Judd Hirsch, Don Pardo. Anyways, so they, I just remember there was an episode where somebody was in like a hospital bed and like it was one of those Craftmatic beds and somebody accidentally like squished this person in the bed.
Can that happen?
I don't know. Like they got it was a really obese person. They're like, and then they went, and they squished the bed. And it
wasn't a comedy, right? It wasn't like
Howie Mandel was in it, so I think it was kind of a comedy, but it was also
it was supposed to be like a serious like medical drama, like ER before ER.
I don't think it was like ER. I think it was sort of like ER, but with like no jokes. Because Ed Begley Jr. was in there.
So it's more Scrubs or...
But not even... I think it was more like Scrubs. I'm almost certain. I mean, I guess, again...
Is it streaming? Do I want to watch St. Elsewhere? I don't know anything about it.
I feel like I should just watch an episode. Just be like, all right, what's this show about? Like, that's a show I don't really know much about. Because obviously, the end of it was...
on when we were kids. I mean, how do we,
It was like watching Highway to Heaven.
I remember Highway to Heaven.
I remember Highway to Heaven more.
But I remember... people being like, what the fuck, when the last episode aired, because it was like all in the mind of this autistic child.
Yeah, I don't know if that was ever like alluded to, or they just
no, it was explicit. From what I've heard, it was like, then didn't it like zoom out in the hospital where everything was supposed to be happening is in a snow globe. That you find out that it's like all in this kid's head.
St. Elsewhere.
Yeah. But St. Elsewhere's Fire would be, I don't even know.
St. Elmo's Fire. That's a movie I've never seen that I should see.
Never seen that one either.
St. Elmo's Fire. Anyway, St. Elmo's Fire is up on the roof here, and he's yelling at...
He's like, watch my movie.
I've got a new movie out. Me and the Rat Pack, we're all here. Ellie Sheedy.
And she's like, no, not you. And he's like, well, come on, sister. You know, let's let your boyfriend know the truth about you.
Yeah.
And he slaps her.
He starts kicking her. So there's a weird origin about
these two
and how they're related to Night Thrasher. Do you want to hear it?
Oh, do I want to?
I don't know, because it makes more sense.
Sure.
So,
does this involve fucking?
Kind of.
God, okay.
It's so basically.
I should always know.
Okay, so basically, what happened was there's a guy in this book later who's Andrew Cord. Mm-hmm. He's one of the business guys that we see later.
Yeah, yeah.
He is the guy that killed Night Thrasher's parents in front of him.
Okay.
But the reason he killed Night Thrasher's parents is because him and Night Thrasher's dad, but particularly in his case, in Andrew Cord's case, they were in Vietnam as soldiers, and they came across a sorcerer who was like, hey, I guess since you're in my temple, I have a bunch of hot daughters, and
would you like to fuck them?
Would you like to fuck them? I'm going to make you... would you like to fuck them? Because if you fuck them and produce kids, then those kids will go on to fulfill some sort of prophecy.
Okay.
Okay? Some sort of, mystic prophecy. And Andrew Cord's like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And so the daughter that went back with him, she decided she didn't want to do... She became pregnant, but she decided didn't want to have anything to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So she left and couldn't be found. And she gave birth to Silhouette and Midnight's Fire.
Oh, okay.
And because of, her mystical connections, they were born with these powers.
Okay.
And then eventually, Andrew Cord hooked up with his old buddy, Night Thrasher's dad.
Yeah.
Mr. Taylor, who was in Vietnam with him, and then they started working for him in the Taylor Foundation. But then for some reason, and I'm probably leaving out certain parts, but some reason, the sorcerer was like, you need to kill Night Thrasher's parents because my daughter, your wife, decided to bail out on this shit. So now you got to kill this kid's parents. And so he did, and he felt bad. So he's like, I'm going to raise Night Thrasher to become Batman. And then that's how that all mixes in.
There are easier ways to make a Batman.
That sounds like that. It sounds like that. Batman was just basically like, hey, kid, does your parents dead?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that Patton Oswalt Christmas sketch. It was like, give that kid's mom cancer.
Yeah, exactly.
Make him alive.
It's very convoluted, but okay.
Extremely convoluted. So, yeah.
Also, if it's part of a prophecy, then it was part of the prophecy that she'd be, peacing out.
What, after she gave birth to the kids?
Yeah, that's what prophecies do. No matter what happens, it's always part of the prophecy.
Right. So
so that's part of it. So why are you? What the fuck, man?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. This is why I don't read. This is why I don't read New Warriors.
Yes. All right. Fair enough.
So she's getting beat up by her brother, and her brother's basically like, you should just leave me and Dwayne alone.
Yeah.
Me and Night Thrasher alone. She's like, no. Also, the way that they're all connected here is that they lived in a neighborhood where they're like, we're going to clean up crime. So when they got old enough, Night Thrasher and Midnight's Fire and Silhouette were like, hey, let's go and try to clean shit up. And something happened where Silhouette got shot, and she basically got Professor X'd.
Yeah.
And he Midnight's Fire blames Night Thrasher for it.
Sure.
So yeah.
I would also just like to point out this part right here. The next time we see Midnight's Fire, he looks like he's drawn by a completely different artist.
Possibly.
To the point where
there's two different... There's two different artists here.
That explains a lot, because literally halfway through the book, the art changes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Because it gets really fucking weird. Because it's not subtle. It's a very abrupt change. So we'll talk about that when we get there. So she's gonna go along with him because he's gonna stab her, or whatever.
Well, he's like, I need you to help me take down this Aardwolf guy.
Yeah. And it'll save your stupid lover boy and whatever.
And the save your lover boy, whatever. But then we go to
Aardwolf's pad, where Night Thrasher is tied up, his helmet is off.
Yeah.
There's a lady in green who just kind of like stands around.
Yeah, this is a Tiger.
Sure. And she's there. And Aardwolf is just like, he's kind of like Beast in that he's, smart and eloquent, and he's
basically a mutant.
Yeah, he's basically a mutant.
He's like actually exactly like Beast, but he became like a muscular beast.
Yeah, he became like uber muscular, and he's just evil. He's like evil Beast. Yeah, but he's very smart, and he's very whatever, but he's a beast.
Yeah.
So you see him, and he's wearing this like...
He's wearing a kimono.
A pink and blue kimono. But he's drawn to look more like Beast. He looks nothing like he does on the cover.
Yeah.
He looks like Beast with like, he's blue, but his hair at the top of his head is brown, and he's got like a mullet. He also has one humongous thigh and one normal size thigh.
Well, at least the way that it's drawn, right?
So maybe he was doing one-legged squats for a really long time.
Well, I just think it's just shading this shit here.
It might be.
Because I think this is, but even though it does look like his thigh,
but I'm also kind of confused because is this supposed to be see-through?
I don't know, because it's like, I don't know if this is his kimono flapping up.
Yeah, because here's the kimono, but then why, this would be the pink trim, here's the pink trim, but how come I can see his thigh here?
I don't know. It's weird.
Oh, I don't know.
So Aardwolf is like, he scratches him. Although here, I don't know if this is supposed to be blood or just looks like pink frosting.
It looks like he has pink fingernails.
Yeah.
Like, it matches his kimono, pink fingernails.
He's looking at his fingernails. He's like, pink fingernails.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, whatever. He's trying to get information out of him.
Well, basically, he wants Night Thrasher to join him.
Yeah.
To help take down, help him run Madripoor or whatever. And eventually Madripoor... He's going to basically take whatever bullshit's going on in Madripoor and bring it to the U.S. and blackmail the Taylor Foundation so he can use his the Taylor, the Bat computer to like create whatever he fucking needs. Mm-hmm. He basically it's all about that.
Yeah.
So and that's basically what happened.
There's a lot of like talking back and forth.
He's drinking. And also, what's weird too, he's drinking like a pink martini. This is like a Duran Duran video.
It really is.
Like the colors are very Duran Duran, like
it's
Rio.
very 80s.
Like you ever remember that? Like wait.
Oh, Rio?
Yeah, the remember video for Rio.
I
think it's Rio.
The whole video.
Well, because they're on the boat, Cybele and LeBon and all the guys. They're on the boat, and there's like a few parts where like there's chicks in the water.
Yeah.
And then there's this one part where
a woman dancing on the beach.
Probably.
Yeah, because her name is Rio and she dances on the sand.
She does dance on the sand. But there's a part where there's in the middle, whatever it is, it looks like it's in the middle of the ocean, but there's like a random pop-up bar.
Okay.
That just has these two drinks that one of them looks like this pink drink, another looks like a yellow drink.
Yeah.
And one of the Duran Durans like picks this drink.
One of the Duran Durans.
They pick up the drink and they, for some reason, the shot is...
It's not, you don't join a band to get their last name. It's not like his name is Lars Metallica now. Like,
I was just going to say, James Metallica.
James Metallica.
Yeah, or...
so if you like...
Mick Stones.
If you leave that band... and then join another band, are you a hyphenate?
Yes. If you have two bands at the same time, you're a hyphenate.
Oh, shit.
So that would mean that...
so like anybody who was in like Audio Slave?
No, but I'm talking like at the same time.
Was Audio Slave running at the same time?
So let's put it this way. If...
or was that like after they were done?
They were done. It would actually be like a Scott Weiland when he was also in Velvet Revolver, but also with STP. Still kind of. So he'd be like... Scott Weiland - Stotella Pilots - Velvet Revolver.
I see.
Or stat - whatever, but Pilots - Revolver.
What about when Chris Cornell and Eddie Vedder did Temple of the Dog?
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So it would be like it would be Chris Dog Garden.
Chris Temple of the Dog Soundgarden?
Well, shorten it. Chris Dog Garden.
Please welcome to the stage, Chris Dog Garden.
Chris Dog Garden was my favorite singer.
R.I.P. Chris Dog Garden.
Or, if you want to put the bigger band for his Chris Garden dog.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah. But anyway, so so the next shot of the guy in the video, he takes the fucking drink, and then it's like him trying to drink the drink underwater, but the fluorescent yellow drink is just clouded up in the water because the shot we'll watch it afterward.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever remember the video to Rio. I know the song.
I also remember Hunger Like a Wolf pretty well, but that didn't have fluorescent drinks in it.
I mean, honestly, the only Duran Duran video that I really remember is Girls on Film.
Yeah, that one was very naughty.
Yeah, that's really the only one I ever remember.
Wild Boys, they almost died doing that one. You know that?
No.
Because there's this thing for some reason. Like,
I know all of these songs, by the way.
Yeah.
But I do not know these videos.
Well, there's the video for Wild Boys, which we're going to watch a bunch of Duran Duran videos later.
I have no problem with this.
I think this is a good use of time.
I've seen them in concert, so, you know.
I've never seen them.
Yeah.
But they had the thing where there's a wheel, and they're all strapped to this wheel, and for some reason, like, that wheel goes underwater.
Oh, God.
And at one point, the wheel malfunctioned, and one of them got stuck underwater.
Oh, God.
I mean, they didn't die, obviously, but...
Well, obviously.
Which, it's fucking stupid, because it's probably like, oh, this is a little cool, because they come out of the water, and it'll just have, like, they'll be screaming Wild Boys, but they'll have, like, wet hair and shit, and I'm like...
You could just hose them down.
You could just hose them. Just throw a fucking bucket at them, you know? Whatever. It's Duran Duran, you know?
Give them a water bottle. They'll be fine.
Don't fucking stick them underwater.
Don't drown them.
It's not the Industrial Revolution and shit.
Nope.
We ain't doing a steamboat. Anyways.
Nope.
So, Night Thrasher...
Yeah, so he eventually gets out of his...
Gets out of his binds, which looks like he's tied up with, like,
it looks like he's tied up with pretty much like dental floss.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't look like it's anything. And he gets out of it, and he puts his helmet back on, and he's like, time to fucking fight, bro. And so that's when we cut to this, like, weird board meeting.
It's in Manhattan with, this is where the Wayne Foundation, the Taylor Foundation.
Yeah, and none of this really matters. It's like this woman wanted to do a thing. She gets outvoted, whatever.
This is Cord.
Yeah. And then we cut to...
So now we're in San Francisco. I don't know. And also, by the way, they spelled San Francisco wrong.
Can I just say the lettering in this book's kind of shit at some points?
It's not great. Well, obviously.
Yes, they did spell San Francisco wrong. But there's also parts where, like, I had to actually bring it much closer to my face because I was like, wait, what is that? I'm like, oh, that's supposed to be a C or whatever. And it doesn't look like one.
For what it's worth, I don't know who this... I know this guy here, this guy with the half ponytail, whatever this Duran Duran on steroids here.
He's got like a half Trump.
He does have a half Trump.
It's a half Trump.
He's got a half Trump.
And it looks just as dumb as you think.
He's got a half Trump with like spiky hands and a white t-shirt. He's just like fucking John Travolta.
And he's like a drug addict or whatever.
He's got like a David Bowie lightning bolt on his face.
And his
name is Tantrum.
Yeah. So I guess he fought
Night Thrasher
at one point, whatever. And then there's another guy there who tases him, and this guy doesn't know what a taser is, so he gets shot in the chest with it, and he's like, oh, thread and sewing needles, whatever. And this guy's like, haha, tase. And then he's like, yeah, well, if he had trouble defeating you, imagine what it's going to be like when he goes up against me.
I don't know who this guy is.
I don't know who this guy is. He just has a taser.
He also has like a yellow... Does he also have a thing on his face?
Yeah, like a yellow thing over his eye.
Oh, man, Duran Duran's having a fight. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, and then here's where the art changes.
Yes, now here is where our art changes because he looks completely different.
Now they look like softer.
I was honestly, when I saw this, I was like, "Is this a dream?" I thought it was not me. Like I thought that this was a dream the characters were having about like better times.
Yeah.
No, the art just fucking changes right here in the middle.
Well, I like this thing here. Well, this is really even more evident because. Yeah. So him and Midnight's Fire and Silhouette are on the roof talking, and basically they're just like, "Look, she's like, why'd you get involved?" And he's like, I had to. Crime.
There's just a bunch of bullshit.
Just a bunch of bullshit. Although he's like, I want to keep my little sister, and he has like an image of her in the you see him like thinking of her in the clouds.
Yeah, it's them hugging each other.
But it's like this adorable
kind of almost like anime people.
It's like an anime, yeah.
It's like an anime.
It's like fucking like Goku or something, like a little baby Goku or some sort of Dragon Ball Z, like little kids.
Yeah, it's like Goku hugging Bulma in a cloud.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. And so, she's like, nah, you should have. Wait a minute. So is this only going on for like the one page?
It's really weird, right? Like, and
because then it kind of goes,
and then it kind of goes back. So I don't know if it was just like, oh shit,
maybe
because
not. Because
I feel like we go back once we have ass.
Oh, yeah, we do have ass.
But these 2 pages right here are just so obviously
done by
somebody else. Like, and her too. She looks a little weird here.
Yeah, she does.
So it might be here, and maybe somebody just dropped this panel in.
Yeah. So basically,
So
it
it's
sounds like
just-
somebody needed some help.
Yeah, and it's just like, hey, this is how I'm here. This is why I'm involved in what's going on in
So basically, Midnight's Fire has this group
Nobody
called.
cares.
He has this group. Why are they talking about it?
I know. I'm just saying, like, no, I don't.
I know comics.
I know you know comics. I'm not saying that.
He has a group called the Folding Circle, and he has this
The Sewing Circle.
the Sewing Circle. Yeah, they make little knitting things.
Yeah.
And he's got this group with all these weird. He has this one dude with like 4 eyeglasses on. He's got a weird group.
Yeah, he's like, I kind of want to be Prince, but like not really.
Yeah, he does. He's like, I want to be Prince, but I want to be like
he's like-
Velveteen Dream with an extra eye.
Yeah, because I mean, Prince. You remember when Prince wore that?
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm gonna do 4, and then Prince was like, oh no, I'm gonna make it better. I'm gonna do 3.
Yeah, 3 makes more
And then
sense.
you're like, you know what? 3. That's great because now you have one over your third eye.
Whatever, 4 eyes.
Yeah.
So yeah, but there's just some weirdos he's this group with, and he's like, look, what happened was we flew an Avengers Quinjet, and then
We couldn't fly it. We crashed it.
we crashed it, and then we ended up in Madripoor, and we were like, hey, we got sweet powers, and we can like become like big players here.
And that's what they did.
But then we like ran afoul, Ardwolf and some fat guy, and
And some fat
I'm trying to think of this like some chunky Dan Goodman guy,
Yeah.
or John Goodman guy, and
Yeah.
now we have to like keep our shit together, and I need Night Thrasher to help me, and
Yeah.
you know,
Also, here I am drawn from behind with just the most ass.
that is the best. That is a good.
Look
ass.
at that ass. That is like a Nightwing ass.
Yeah.
Is what that is.
Yeah.
That is an ass.
Sorry, you can't not
I mean,
recognize that
no,
ass.
and it's also a huge panel. Like, it's just like, and it's from the back, and it's just his ass is like lovingly detailed.
Yeah.
And then she's looking out the window, and she doesn't look like herself either. She kind of looks like, what's that character in Guardians?
Oh, Mantis?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's just they're just giving each other shit, and then
now they look the same again.
yeah, now they're different again. Now he wants Night Thrasher to help him take down Ardwolf, and he's like, we need to find Night Thrasher, but so now you have use of my group,
Yeah,
with the
and-
4 eyes and the whatever.
Night Thrasher doesn't know the truth about you. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
because in order to save Taylor, Night Thrasher, Ardwolf will be taken down. Ardwolf!
Yeah.
So he's fighting Ardwolf, and then Ardwolf is like, yo, I got this tape of your sister being shitty.
Yeah, and maybe the art doesn't really change back because Ardwolf now has just the curliest of mullets.
Yeah, he's got more hair all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
he's got a ton more hair and just
You got a weave put in.
He really did in the
Is this a
time.
drag queen?
It is. He's just.
Wait, is this RuPaul Drag Race?
It is that you know what that's like 4 wigs together. That's how they get their hair so big. I'm not even kidding. So they put more than one wig together. So that's.
I would love it if somebody on drag race showed up and it's like Ardwolf. I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Smarter than Trump.
Yep. And so Ardwolf's like, hey, by the way, here's a videotape of your girlfriend, which now she has short hair.
No, she had short hair back then.
Okay, but it's like, here's your girlfriend.
This was recorded because it was recorded a year ago.
No, it was recorded
14 months ago.
No, but then he says this is 4 months ago.
No, this is a cassette tape, the audio.
Oh, okay.
This is different. Now he's getting, because not only does he have a video from like a year and 2 months ago.
Yeah.
He's got a cassette tape from 4 months ago showing that she's still been doing shit. And
Yeah.
he puts it in the Walkman, and Night Thrasher's like, basically incriminates that Silhouette's been doing shit behind his back.
Yeah, and like
stuff
kind of
that-
working with, the drug lords that they're trying to take down or whatever.
Just trying to basically work some deals, and
Yeah.
and Ardwolf's like, "Yo, check this out," and he's like, "Fuck you," and he breaks the tape.
He breaks the tape, and then he fights with Ardwolf, and then they fight for a while.
Now he looks like Mum-Ra.
I don't know.
He looks like everybody.
He's changed
Because now he's got
quite a
like
few
these
times.
billowy
He took
things
his
from his
kimono
hands.
off, and
Yeah, he took the kimono off. He put on some billowy wraps, and now he's like jumping. He was like Mum-Ra.
Yeah, and then it's just literally them fighting, and then if that's supposed to be Tiger,
Yeah, that's that
'cause she's
girl.
wearing a completely different outfit now. Because before it was a whole green,
this is the thing that he's
a green dress, and now she's wearing like leggings and a blouse.
for some reason Night Thrasher escapes. He puts on his helmet, and then he's like, "Yeah, I also should put on your armor." So
Yeah,
because I think you're gonna help
that's
me.
right. Because he wasn't completely in his armor. Now he is,
And now they're fighting.
and now they're fighting. Everybody's wearing different clothes with different hair. Like the people got prepared.
Now
for
he's
this
got
fight.
Triple H hair from
People got
Blade Trinity.
That's the thing. They got prepared for this fight. Everybody was like, all right, let's get ready and let's meet back here. So I'm going to put on all my
I
extensions.
think it is a drag race.
It is. I'm going to put on all my extensions. You're going to get ready. And now we're going to lip sync for our lives. Which
lip sync for your lives.
If that is how this went down, this would be the best comic book I'd ever read. If they just decided to like start fucking lip syncing to like Total Eclipse of the Heart right now, it would just be like so great.
Sunglasses at night.
Sunglasses at night. Well,
for Night Thrasher.
Yeah, well, usually you have to do. Well, they're dressed in boy drag, so you could do guys. Usually you have to do ladies.
Man, so here's what I want. I want a whole episode of Drag Race dedicated to this issue of Night Thrasher where everybody has to dress as characters from Night Thrasher.
I'll text RuPaul.
Yes.
And let her know.
I'm going to, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down to Mickey's.
Yeah.
With this in my back pocket. I'm just going to go and start trying to pitch.
And just like walk up to any old drag queen and be like, hey.
I'm going to find the creator guy.
He's there. He might be into this.
Find our buddy creator.
Yeah.
Which we've talked about before on the show.
Yes.
He's gonna put this up the ladder.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Sure. Why not?
You know, because I'm gonna be like, yo, in exchange for this, I got some sweet creator demos.
I'll trade them to you if you can find somebody who can talk to RuPaul.
Yeah. If you can get this Night Thrasher thing to RuPaul.
Yeah. So there's fighting. And
so what happens? Okay. So what happens is Night Thrasher tackles him off the roof.
Window.
He tackles him off the roof, or whatever, and he's like, the thing about Aardwolf is that Aardwolf is really smart, but he's not a good fighter, even though he's like.
He's big, but
he's got strong, and he's got claws and everything. He's not a good. He can't fight for shit.
He's the guy I'm always worried is going to kill somebody in wrestling, and he's kind of like on your shirt, but not really on your shirt.
Oh, Brock Lesnar?
Yeah,
but Brock Lesnar knows how to fight,
but he can't really wrestle.
He knows how to wrestle too. He's
kind of big and slow, though, isn't he?
He's an excellent wrestler.
Is he?
Oh yeah, he won like national championships. He's a he's very good.
Is it just lately that he just turns pink and can only do like 4 things and has to be carried through the fucking match?
I don't think he gets carried through the match.
Braun Strowman carried him through the match last time. I'm sorry. I saw it. And then I saw it on the YouTubes. And people agreed with me. Because it was just
Don't tell me it didn't happen. It didn't happen. I saw it happen.
Because he turns pink now.
He does. He pretty much turns into like a ripe hot dog.
And he can give like 4 F5s and then that's about it. And it's just like, okay, well, that's what you do Germans now.
And stuff. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say he's kind of like a Brock Lesnar, but this guy. But anyways, so Aardwolf though doesn't really know how to fight. What?
I'm just saying.
Oh, you just. I like that was your assessment of Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar doesn't know how to wrestle, even though Brock Lesnar is like the best wrestler.
Maybe he used to, but lately he has been.
Well, here's the thing: Brock Lesnar doesn't need to do much to be Brock Lesnar.
No, he just has to show up. But lately,
throw people.
He turns this color.
He does. No, he 100%. He does turn into a modest hot dog.
Yeah, I mean, like if he turned out the lights, he would glow.
Because he's glowing with the
and I don't know if it's just maybe he's had enough, like he's been through it and his body's just like, dude, I can't do this anymore.
It might,
whatever.
He's older.
Yeah, we all that fucking happens, man.
It happens.
Are you kidding? I wake up in the morning and go, ugh.
You wake up and you're like, oh my god, I look like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, well, why do you think I wear so much makeup? I wake up in the morning and go, I look like Jim Stansfield. And then I have to put my makeup on so people know I'm a woman.
You get up in the morning, you get to Starbucks, and you German suplex everybody.
Yes, that's exactly how I walk through the door.
I think that's just what Jen does. She's an
latte.
she's an excellent wrestler.
She's so good.
She's so good.
Just latte, and I just start like suplexing everybody. I'm gonna push you through the table.
I'm just imagining just walking by a Starbucks in the middle of the morning, and when it's early in the morning, the lights are
5:30 in the fucking
5:30 morning, just watching you going, just throwing people around until you get your latte. I was like, that's how it goes.
The guy at Starbucks on Friday, I always get a venti.
Yeah,
obviously that's what I do.
Big,
and they know this, and he's new, so he doesn't. He gave me a grande.
We should have told him to give you a venti. You ordered a venti. Did you tell him?
No, because you know what? A lot of times they'll because I come in there so often, sometimes they'll only charge me for a grande.
Oh.
So I was like, well, I'm not going to argue.
Hey, you come here all the time. We'll give you this for free.
Yeah, and I throw it on the ground. I wasn't going to do that.
Let's do the latte on the ground.
So I was just like, thank you. And I just drank my grande. And
you didn't have as much of a coffee buzz that morning?
I don't even feel it anymore.
I know. Yeah, you're impervious.
I am, yeah.
What was it when we went to, where did we go?
We were in Italy. We went to Italy, and then I stopped at Sephora on the way out, and I had a cup of coffee in my hand because we had gotten lattes at Italy, which is this like 2-story like Italian market / restaurant.
Yeah.
And they have one in New York too. So we went there, we ate, whatever. And then I'm walking out and there was a Sephora and I'm like, well, I got to go to Sephora because obviously I need more makeup. So I went in and I bought, I don't even know, lipstick, I think. The girl behind the counter goes, I don't even know how you can drink coffee at 9:00 at night. And I literally laughed at her. I just went, ha, 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 and I just walked out.
Do you know who this woman is?
I was like, I'm not even going to explain. I'm
Do
just
you know
going
who
to laugh.
you're talking to?
I'm literally just going to laugh.
Your body is like 90% coffee.
Pretty much. Pretty much. There are times when I'm like, oh, I think I'm dropped down to 87%. I better get another cup.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
You drink coffee and
I'm drinking it right now. It is, what time is it right now?
Oh, I don't know.
It's like, what, 8?
Yeah, I don't drink coffee. I don't typically drink coffee. That I've done it sometimes, but I got yelled at by my therapist. She's like, that's why you can't go to sleep. And I'm like, I know, but I love it.
See, it doesn't affect me.
I don't.
You know I can drink this and I'll fall asleep in about 10 minutes.
I know. Jen can sleep anywhere, guys.
I can.
She is very efficient.
That's my superpower. I could lay down on you could just be like, all right, well, here we are standing on this sidewalk. We have to be here for however long. And I'd be like, all right. And I could literally just lay down and
she
go
can
sleep.
body a regular Red Bull and a coffee and a Diet Coke and a Coke
and go to bed
and still manage to go to bed.
Yep.
Still manage to fall asleep in an uncomfortable position on the couch.
Like, I think that's why my shoulder hurts today, because I was like, oh, Blade Trinity, huh? And I was just out within like 2 minutes of starting the movie.
Yeah.
I got to see Triple H at the beginning. That was it.
There's a lot to talk about in that movie, but our buddies at We Hate Movies will do that this week. So
yes, they will. I'm so excited.
But I've done that this week. So yeah, we're that is a stupid movie.
Yeah, I think I got to watch it again because I.
Well, you missed the part. What was the part? What was the part that I told you?
You said something. Somebody went to a goth store.
Yeah, there's a part where
and there was
the guy
Dracula vibrator.
Yeah, basically.
Does it look like Bela Lugosi's face?
Yes.
Oh.
But it's on the head of the penis, but the rest of it's just like throb penis.
I'm sorry. I don't want anything with a face.
Yeah.
If you were like, I'm going to give you this dildo, and it was just like a face. No.
Yeah, you wouldn't want like a skull. Not even like a skull, too. Kind of weird, right?
I got to clean that.
Because then I imagine like all of a sudden yeah, because you got to get the nooks and crannies out.
That's the thing. Now I got to clean that shit. Is it dishwasher safe?
She didn't get a chance to explain.
Okay.
Because Dracula was in the vibrator shop, and he bit the sales girl. Because that's a scene in Blade Trinity. Go back and watch it.
Oh man. Anyway, they jump out of a window.
They jump out of a building, and since the Night Thrasher knows how to be a soldier, or he knows how to fight, he was able to turn himself. So I guess he takes the brunt of this. And he doesn't kill him.
He makes it so the other guy takes the brunt of it. So
that's
he's
right.
in control.
Yeah.
So now he's like, all right, well, I'm going to get info from you now. But before he can walk away, guess who shows up? And it's our dear friend, Midnight Fire and
her goofy crew and the Midnight Silhouette and the goofy crew.
Four-Eye dude who's not as cool as Prince.
Oh shit.
And I don't even know who this guy is.
There's names. Okay, they got stupid names.
Fire person.
They got stupid names. I gotta find them here because they're dumb. I like telling you. So you got Smiling Tiger.
He kind of just has a triangle for a head.
Yes.
Yeah. The Four-Eye guy.
Firewall.
Oh, Firewall is just a person on fire. It's like a stuntman.
And this is Bloodstrike.
Oh, Bloodstrike?
Bloodstrike
is the Four-Eye guy.
Yeah. And that's the Folding Circle. And so next issue, Folding Circle versus Thrash versus Aardwolf versus Silhouette? ? Be there and they'll save a dance for you too.
And so the letters page.
Well, I talked about this last week actually.
Is this a letters page? It is.
Yeah,
it says talk or I'll gladly break your jaw. Period.
That's what they decided the letters page is going to be. Because I think that's something that Night Thrasher said in another book.
Sure.
And at some point.
And it's like printed landscape instead of portrait like the rest of the fucking thing. And then you also have this very thin, very light pink Night Thrasher logo.
Yeah, that's pretty
printed
bad.
over the letters, but it's like kind of hard to see because at first it kind of looks like you spilled something on it.
Yeah.
Until you realize what it is.
I just realized that actually.
Yeah.
And so basically this is the one where they decided that they've called the newsletter or the letters page, and the girl won a New Warriors trade paperback. And so they decided that it was so good that they decided to print just one letter. This is why they had to do it landscape.
Oh, I get it.
Because his letter is so long.
Oh.
And it's from Kevin Graveau, who we talked about last week, who was the writer of I, Frankenstein, or How Frankenstein. He was in the movie.
Yes, okay.
And even give his address here in Los Angeles.
So is this before he was...
I think it was, yeah, he's probably just like an actor or writer.
This isn't the first time. There was another one, and I can't remember when I was reading, the Tess 8 Chai Tea blog. He was reading an old comic, and I don't remember what. But he did find and took a picture of like some letter from somebody who is in comics now.
Oh, that's a very
from when they were kids.
That's a very common thing.
Yeah,
in old comics is that you can go back and read them and find.
And all of a sudden, you'll see like, oh, hey, wait, this is so and so.
Hey, there's Jim Shooter, or that's just how it was.
Yeah,
and so that's kind of the deal.
I just like the idea that like some 14-year-old kid wrote a letter to, I don't know, World's Finest or something, and it gets printed. It's one of the ones that gets printed and actually ends up being somebody who goes into comics.
Yeah, or they could be just an actor
20 years later.
Just an important person. You never know. I never got a letter printed. I got a letter printed once in Wizard.
Oh man, I got a letter printed once in Glamour.
Did you?
Yeah, a long time ago. Forgot what I wrote about, but yeah, I sent a letter to Glamour.
You're like, is it okay to drink coffee at night? And they're like, no.
And they're like, no. And I'm like, haha, fuck the police. Wee! And I did it anyway.
I sent them my response, and they printed my response. Fuck the police.
It's just, I traced my middle finger and wrote, fuck the police, and just sent it back.
I just traced my middle finger. Here's a copy of this response. Here's Jen. Thanks, Jen. We're Glamour magazine. We didn't give a fuck this month.
No.
So
we really needed to make it to press. So.
Was it just regular ass Glamour?
Yeah.
Don't they have like a teen Glamour?
Oh, I think that came out like way after I was a teen.
Oh, okay. So all the women had to read Glamour at once.
Yes.
Okay.
No, usually if you were a teen, you read 17 or, Teen Magazine or any of those.
I don't see you doing that.
I read 17 when I was a kid.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. I subscribed.
Oh, shit. You just subscribed to a magazine? I never subscribed. I had to go and get them.
Yeah, I subscribed to 17 Magazine when I was about 14 or 15.
Oh, wow.
And I had a whole bunch of them. And then I stopped subscribing. And then years later, my sister wanted to, read it or something. And my mom said, no, that's why your sister's so messed up, because she blamed my low self-esteem on 17 Magazine.
Do you agree?
I don't blame 17 Magazine. I blame the culture that we live in.
Yeah.
But my parents should have gotten me into therapy. So.
She got you Therapy Magazine.
Right? I mean, I also subscribed to Highlights when I was even younger than that.
Man, look at you subscribing to magazines. I never got to subscribe to magazines.
Did you notice I subscribed to Writer's Digest like last year?
It's true, you do.
I did. It was
a story. Tell the Reader's Digest.
I have not re-upped, just because I'm just like, I'll get there. But
I don't think I ever. I know what I used to. We subscribed to Nintendo Power. Did I? Did I ever subscribe to Nintendo Power? Brian, tell me if I subscribed to Nintendo Power.
I like that you assume Brian listens to this show. He's got things to do. He has pierogies.
He has pierogies to make. He's like, fuck you, Sean.
That's much more important than listening to this.
I'm embarrassed to listen to you.
He should be.
He's talking about your
shirtless
shits and everything. But
he's like, I'm gonna go do cool shit.
I'm gonna go do shit. I'm gonna listen to bands called named Herz.
Yes.
Herz.
Important bands.
Important German dance bands that are now in America, and they're tearing up the scene. Anyways, so that's it for the book, Night Thrasher, number 3 from October 1993. Would you read the next issue of this?
No. No, this is dumb.
It is dumb.
You know what? Here's the thing. There was a lot going on, and a lot of it was really confusing. And I don't know if it was because we dropped in at number 3.
I think you would have to drop in, reading New Warriors and being, engrossed in this story.
Yeah. This is one of the reasons I like older comics.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we're one and done.
Uh-huh.
Or we're two and done.
Right.
So if a new reader wants to jump in, a new reader can jump in. When you get something like this, even though this is issue number 3, it's hard for somebody who doesn't know anything about these characters to pick this up and be like, oh, okay. I know it's I'm invested enough or interested enough, because you're like, who's that guy? Why is this person? What's happening? And it's all this old history it's referring back to that you're like, oh, I have to buy 25 paperbacks to fucking figure out how these people got here. I mean, this is back then too. Now we just have the internet, but
yeah, now we just have Wikipedia.
You can just Wikipedia it and be like, oh, I'm caught up. But I can see during this time period before that was a thing, how difficult it would be for a new reader.
Right. No, I totally agree. I actually, as I remember it, I had the next issue of this as a teenager. I don't know how I got it. I think
You found it in the woods.
yeah. It was stuck in between a High Society and a Hustler. In a Glamour magazine with Jen's letter in it. So,
You're making fun of my letter?
Yeah, it was a big stack. There was a big stack of magazines.
I think I was even like 25 when I sent that letter to Glamour.
Oh, wait. I thought you were a kid.
No.
Oh, then
I was like an adult.
Oh, I thought you were like a teenager. That's why I was like assuming it was like, oh, you're reading 17.
Oh, no. I never wrote a letter to 17.
Oh, see, I wrote my letter to the Wizard when I was like 15.
Good for you.
Yeah.
No, I was like a legitimate like adult person. I was like, I'm going to write a letter to a fucking magazine.
So in 2005, you wrote a letter?
Oh, it might have been before. Maybe 2003, around that time, yeah. I was an adult.
I know, but...
Adult!
We had emails then.
Oh, well, okay. It might have been sent in via email, but yes. Okay.
Pen to paper.
No, it was not.
Dear Glamour.
No, it was an email. It was...
Makeup.
Contact us. Click on it on the website thing.
Okay.
No, it was not a pen to paper thing.
Oh, that's what I imagined when you said I wrote a letter. It's like that's what I did. I wrote a handwritten letter to.
I wrote an email to Glamour.
Yes,
it's a letter. Same thing. They published it in the letters page.
Okay, fair enough. I wrote a letter to Wizard asking if Power Man and Iron Fist were going to get back together. The response was just no. We hope not. And then they put a picture of Luke Cage from the 70s. It's just his head saying, Sweet Christmas. I don't know which issue that was. It's actually it's funny because we were at the 10-cent sale and they had a box full of Wizards
those magazines.
Which I was like, do I want to get these? Because I bought some Wizards recently. Yeah. And I feel like I should look through them and then throw them out.
Okay.
But I want to find the one that I was in. I can't remember which one that was. It was a 95-ish, 94, 95-ish. So I have to look that one
Everyone
up.
Look through your Wizards.
I also actually do want to something. Speaking of past appearances in the media for Sean Merrick, I revealed to my coworkers just the other day that I was once on an episode of TRL.
Oh, yeah. You had never told them.
Year 2000.
You requested something.
I requested Korn, Somebody, Someone. Yeah, and job, I said, I want to request Korn, Somebody, Someone because the song is as sick and twisted as their tour, Metal Horns.
Did you say metal horns?
No, I did not. I was not nearly as funny as I am now.
I have a question because you were an intern for MTV.
I was an intern at TV.
Were they just like, we need someone to request this? Here's Sean.
No. What happened was me and the other interns were just like, hey, could we go see a TRL? And they're like, sure. And I was like, man, I'm so metal. I'm gonna wear my typo negative shirt. And I wore the one which I still have it. I don't wear it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Maybe.
I wore the testosterone.
Oh, yeah.
Above all things, be a man. It was basically like the chemical makeup of the testosterone on the back.
On the back.
It was black and yellow, and I wore it with cream-colored pants. And I had a fucking wallet chain.
Well, of course you did.
And
it was the early 2000s.
And I had a beard.
No, you didn't have a beard.
I had a
soul patch.
I had a patch.
Oh.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, sick of twit. Because what happened was they were like, who wants to request a video? And I'm like, I do because I'll never get a chance to do this again.
Oh, man.
I was living my best life.
You really were. I was so proud.
And I was like, because I wanted to be like, I want to be on TV.
Good job, babe.
And I did.
I'm so proud.
And I did.
I was never.
But they stuck me in the back with the other kid that was like, hey, I saw Deftones the other day. I was like, that was fucking sweet. They stuck me in the back because all the pretty people got to sit up front.
Well, yeah, that's what they do.
They don't want me, the chud, sitting in the front and the back.
No, I was. You can see me in the background of an episode of Late Night with Conan O'Brien because they did like an audience bit and like it literally stopped like either right in front of me or right behind me when I was in the audience. So you can like see my face go, oh, like
you're like, you should have been like, comedy.
Yeah, that's what I look like. I go, oh, like I'm just an idiot.
Well, it's very exciting.
Yeah. So that's the most TV I've ever done.
Yeah. I find myself in a lot of situations where I've been to like tapings and it's like, I'm one of those people where like, if I have an opportunity to do something, I'm usually like, for whatever reason, I'm just trying to, I'm just thinking I have to do it. Mm-hmm. Even though I'm better off just sitting there and shutting up and just enjoying the show.
You requested a video. That was important.
Well, I also went to like a Daily Show taping in 2000 at the same time.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, there was like, Ask Jon Stewart questions. It wasn't on TV, but I was like, and for some reason, they didn't.
It's too bad. Did you know he was a mark at that point?
No.
That's too bad because you could have asked him so many wrestling questions.
I would be like, wrestling! But, so it was like, but Ask Jon Stewart, so, because he was on set, and for whatever reason, our seats, like, we got there late enough where they couldn't put us in the actual bleachers where they taped show. They had to stick us behind the cameras.
Oh.
Where, like, nobody can really, you can't really be seen, but you're still able to see the show. And Anna Paquin was a guest because she was promoting X-Men.
Oh, okay.
But they had a thing where it's like, Ask Jon Stewart questions. And I've decided to go like, what do you think of Buffalo? And he said it was very nice.
You're a dork.
Or he had some stupid answer, and it was
dork.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm an asshole. I am just a.
You're not an asshole.
I'm just a media grabbing piece of garbage.
Is that on your business card?
Yeah.
Sean Merrick, media grabbing piece of garbage. I need to get my
business card revised. It says Sean Merrick, podcast producer. On the back, I'm a media grabbing piece of garbage.
There you go.
Quote Sean Merrick. Look, yeah, but I used to have this magazine, the other one after this, and I don't know why I had it. It was probably just as confusing because I didn't have this one.
Yeah.
But now I do. Now I need to find this other one and just kind of pair them up so I can feel better. Well, that's it for this week's show. We've got an hour and a half, man. This is wild.
No one wants to hear us yap for an hour and a half.
Hey, we've got good stories.
Sure.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Angry Hero Sean.
And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Jen Stansfield. jenstansfield.wordpress.com. Find us on Facebook, Worst Collection Ever. Email the show, worstcollectionever@gmail.com.
Yes. And find us on Facebook. Please comment, leave us notes, however you want to do it. And of course, if you're on Apple Podcasts or whatever it is that you get to the podcast, please rate, subscribe, review, give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, tell people about the show, share the word, just get people to check us out. And
let us know where your letter was published.
Yeah.
If you ever wrote a letter to a magazine, let us know about it.
If you were published in some sort of magazine or just you had some sort of
back in the day
random ass moment like that.
Yeah, media moment. Let us know. You were an extra for some movie when it came to your town. Let us know.
Yeah, that's usually how a lot of people make it.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for this week's show. Please check us out where we told you to check us out, and we do appreciate you listening. So thanks again, and we'll talk to you again next time.
Bye.